Thank you for having us.
Oh, thank you. I did a little intro, but please introduce yourselves. I feel like you can do a better job than I did.
Hi everybody, I'm Michelle York. I'm Michelle Says on TikTok.
I'm Kelsey. It's me, Kelsey, on TikTok.
So we have a lot of aspiring creators, and we have a lot of creators that have been doing it for a while. If you just started on TikTok Shop, what would be some advice you would give someone starting out?
Yeah, do you want to take that first? I would say look at what you already use and love in your everyday life. I guarantee there's probably hundreds of products that you have around your house already. Take the thing that you're most passionate about and make a video. Talk about why. Talk about why you absolutely love that product, why it's part of your daily life, and start there because your authenticity will shine through that.
Yeah, I think the authenticity part is really the key here. If you're talking about a product that you don't love, people are going to tell. People can tell through the screen. I think people try to get away with it a lot, but you have to be knowledgeable about a product. You have to love a product in order to really effectively make a good video.
How long have you both been creators for?
I started in 2021, but I started posting consistently in 2022. So yeah.
Yeah, same. 2022 is when we got started. We started TikTok Shop kind of immediately when it came out in 2023. But yeah, we were creators before that.
And then how did you figure out what would be your niche category? Did you like test different products? Or you just like knew from the beginning?
I think I never thought about finding a niche. It never really crossed my mind. I just sort of posted what I liked. I bought clothes, I bought food, and makeup, obviously. I love makeup and beauty, and so that just kind of fit naturally, and that's what I leaned more into because that was where my interest was.
Yeah, same. I think that makeup, hair, all that kind of stuff was really something that I was already really interested in. So it was really easy transition to start making videos about it because it was stuff that I was doing every single day already.
And how do you know what brands you want to work with? Is it like their commission rate, or is it because you are just passionate about that brand already, so you want to tell people about it? How did you decide?
Honestly, it was just the same of products I was already using and loving, and then seeing new brands that I love on TikTok Shop and going, oh my gosh, they're on TikTok Shop now. I love this product, and leaning into that, and then also a combination of this is on sale. This is a great product. Let me share that today. Or I know that this brand does GMV Max. They do ad spend because that's what we're all looking for. So hey, I use this product. I have it. I've loved to use it for years. Let me share that today. So I kind of lean into what's working and what's selling.
Yeah, same. I think that it's a similar process. Again, what we really love. And also I think like as we go through this, we've made relationships with brands. I think that also impacts what products I'm choosing to post about is based on my relationship with the brand.
Great answers. And I would say all right, so we're going to get started with your keynote now that we have the slide up, and I just noticed. And it's all about holiday hitmaking 101. And I'm going to let them take the stage.
Thank you. I guess we did the intro part, so.
I did, but we can probably go a little deeper in that. Okay. But yeah. You know who we are now. I'm Kelsey.
Michelle, hi again. So I wanted to start with like a quick little story because I thought that's always fun to share. But about a year ago, my sales kind of tanked, and they were really, really bad. And I had been doing this for a year and a half at that point, and my friends were just killing it, and I was so proud of them, and I kept clapping for them and looking up and being like, yeah, I am so happy for you guys. And obviously I was still a little bummed out, like what's going on with me? TikTok once even asked me to do a little masterclass thing, and like, you asked me to teach this. I know how to do this. Why are my sales horrible? But my friends were killing it. They were getting amazing opportunities. I kept clapping for them. And eventually my sales picked up, and they were the first people to clap for me. And so I think it's so important that you remember that someone else's success is not taking away from yours. So someone's cup getting filled is not taking from your cup, and we can all win. We can all win here. And so just remember that when you lead from that space, I think amazing things happen. And then like one other quick thing, I had a friend or like a acquaintancy friend who I got a really good opportunity with a brand, and I found out that they were really upset and that they wrote the brand and said, hey, I don't want to promote you anymore because she got that opportunity, not me. And she doesn't know that I know this, and it really hurt my feelings. And then when she got an amazing opportunity a month later, I was one of the first people to congratulate her. So just keep that in mind. There's enough for all of us. So Just wanted to share that.
Absolutely. And if you don't already know, Michelle is one of the biggest girls there is. And I think we all feel really lucky
Actually,
to know
it's
her.
Kelsey,
So,
but that's a side note. That's Kelsey.
do it for each other. But yeah, so you know who we are.
Yes.
We go to the next slide.
So we go to the next slide. Who's doing the slides? How do we say that? Next slide.
Oh,
Thank
perfect.
you. Okay.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, you guys know I'm Kelsey. I mentioned this a little bit, but I got my start in 2022. I actually originally started posting on TikTok because I was documenting a GLP-1 journey. I think that's probably how. Yeah. And I really thought nothing of it. I made one silly little 15-second post. I put my phone down. My niece was born the next day. I was at the hospital. And I picked my phone back up, and it had like 15,000 views. And I was like, oh my God, this is it. Like, that's crazy. And people had questions about GLP-1s. And so anyways, I started answering questions. And very quickly after, people started asking me, hey, how do you do your hair like that? What lip gloss do you have on? And I was like, oh my gosh, I love this shit. Like, this is like my jam. Like, I'm like, okay, like I'll tell you what I do. And it honestly just kind of grew from there. And then 2023, shop rolled around. We'll talk more about that. But, and then I kind of dove into that as well. But we're doing both kind of content. We both kind of do traditional content creation along with shop. And I think that's what makes us really unique in the space, so.
Yeah, same. So I started posting. I downloaded TikTok in 2020. Actually, my husband was the one who was like, I think you'd love TikTok because I love social media and videos and things like that. And then I started posting in 2021. I was like, oh, I'm going to throw a couple videos up here and there. But it wasn't until 2022 where I started sharing something super vulnerable, which was my GLP-1 journey, that people really started resonating with it. And I always tell people this too, like building a community is so important. And really by being vulnerable, like kind of taking that mask off and sharing something that's scary, I feel like that's when kind of magic happens on TikTok. And that's what I saw. And so same thing, TikTok Shop came out early 2023. I remember we had a friend who was doing TikTok Shop and I was like, what is this cart on her videos? Like, I'm so confused. Like, what is this? And so I remember an agency actually messaged me and said, hey, like, if you want to have a call, I'd love to talk to you about TikTok Shop. I see that you're sharing makeup and clothes and things that you love. And I think you'd be great at this. And so I remember calling Kelsey after that call and saying like, hey, I think this is a great way to grow because TikTok loves when you use their new features. Like, let's try TikTok Shop to continue growing as a creator, which was my first and, still my first and foremost goal. And so, yeah, I made a quick little video that night with a tank top I already owned. I was just like, oh, it's on TikTok Shop. Amazing. I have it. It's Revolve, or it's free people on Revolve. And the next day I woke up and had like 300,000 views and I posted it at like midnight. So I was like, oh my gosh, I have so many views. Like, that's so exciting. I wasn't even thinking about sales at all and the commission involved. And so same thing, you made a video that like same day as well. And yeah, so that was kind of how we got started on TikTok Shop. So
yeah, and one quote that I'll leave you guys with, I heard from someone who was selected as a Forbes 30 under 30 as a content creator. And he said, embarrassment is the cost of entry. And I think if you tell yourself that, especially before you film a video, if you feel shy, if you feel embarrassed, remember that because it really does kind of help. That's how you get in.
Love that. Okay, so the good old days of TikTok Shop, we love talking about that. 2023, wow. Like, we miss those days. Can we get those back?
Who was creating in 2023? Hands up. 2023 creators? Okay.
And so, yeah, I think our highest GMV month, I think I think people here are interested in that. So my highest ever month was actually Black Friday, Cyber Monday, which I know we're all interested in. The first 2023, I think I did almost just under $1 million in sales, and that changed my life. Like, completely changed my life. I was like, wait, what for me was so eye-opening as to what's possible. When I was working my corporate job, working for somebody else, you always have this, maybe you get a 2% raise every year or something like that. And I went, wow, there are just so many other ways to make money other than working for somebody else.
Yeah, and November 2023 was also my biggest month, like, to date. And I picked up a little tool called the Beach Waver, and I made a couple of videos curling my hair. And that month in November was just under 2 million in sales. And yeah, that month was it for me. It really changed everything.
We were just like crapping in our pants, to be perfectly honest. Like refreshing, going, oh my, and we can't tell anyone this. Like, who do you tell besides your husband? And you're like, who? I remember telling my parents at Thanksgiving, I was like, I think I made like this much money today, and they were like, what? And it was just really funny because I came from insurance sales and I worked for my dad for a really long time. And he's like, well, you know what I call that? Sales. Like, you get that from me. And I'm like, oh, but it's fine.
Yeah, those were definitely the good old days.
Yeah. Our strategy at first, like, what would you say your strategy was in early days? Like, did you have one?
Honestly, I feel like it's kind of the same now. Like, yeah, I've added in a few little tips and tricks and things that I do when it comes to product selection. But for the most part, my goal is to describe a product to an audience and describe it the best I can and show before and after and let people know why I like it so much, not maybe why Allie likes it so much, but maybe why I like it so much, and make it authentic and make it unique. And I think that that's kind of been the strategy ever since.
Yeah, I think there really was no strategy back then. We were just like, oh, I have this product, I like it, it's really great, let me make a video for it. And I think, like, obviously we started learning, like, I thought in the beginning I could just talk about something completely unrelated and link my shirt and never mention my shirt. And I was like, cool. And it was like, no, you can't do that, Michelle. You have to talk about the shirt. I was like, oh, okay. So it was really just kind of figuring out what the rules are, what works, and leaning into, I think that was the first month, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, where I realized, like, hey, a really good deal, people love that. I love a good deal. I love a sale. We both have, Marshall's moms and TJ Maxx moms. So we call them. So, I was like, this is so good. Wait, you can get this many mascaras for this price. And so that really changed the game. And then, niche-wise, same thing. We really didn't have, and we kind of already answered that, but there was no niche. It was really just sharing products that we liked and then realizing, like, we love makeup. We love a good deal on makeup. And Black Friday, Cyber Monday that month, there was a lot of beauty on sale. Tarte launched on TikTok Shop that month. So that really, changed our lives.
And I think when it comes to niche, just one quick thing to remember with a niche is that I think a lot of people are like, and TikTok especially, wants us to talk about one thing, right? One category, one thing. And listen to TikTok. But what I'll say is that a niche doesn't necessarily have to be that you're only talking about X. You're only talking about GLP-1s. You're only talking about being a mom. There's so many more avenues to a niche. It's the way you edit. It's how you film videos. It's how you talk in your videos. Are they all voiceovers? Are they face to cam? Like, are they day in the lives? Like, there's so many different ways to be a niche that try not to think of it at, like, don't let it put you like in a jail cell. Like, think of it as you have more, you can talk about anything that you want, but your niche should be in the way that you edit it. And there's something that is consistent that people will know when they come to your page, like, oh, that's what I'm gonna get when I go to Kelsey's page. So I think that's really important.
No, 100%. Okay, so let's talk about Black Friday, Cyber Monday. I think a lot of us are super interested in that. I mean, we had a lot of high hopes for last year because of, obviously our first year, and it was still a great month, but it, obviously wasn't the same as that first year. But we wanted to talk about
expectations were high.
Yeah. High. We started here, so anything under than here, we were like, oh, okay, never mind. But it was still great. But, spoiler alert, there's no playbook here, and I think that there's so much information. So, like, where do you start? Like, there's just, I can't keep up. I have no idea. I'm in Discords, I'm in LARCs, I'm getting WhatsApp, messages on, to me, I kind of shut off that noise because I have to just go back to basics and stick to what's working for you. So, like, what do you sell? What are your top products selling right now? Focus on that. Lean into what's working for you. And relationships are so important. So, like, be nice to the brands. That the stories we hear sometimes of the messages some of the brands get and the creators saying mean that, be kind, because those relationships take you so far, and we've learned that they are so important in this business. And then follow the sales. That's what I always do. Like, what's a good deal? What's a sale? What's, like, brands who tell you, hey, we're going to have these deals or these sales or these bundles. This is an exclusive. Kind of paying attention to that. And then the ad spend, When I'm scrolling, I pay attention to what's sponsored in my feed. I go, oh, the brand, this product is being sponsored. This brand is sponsoring videos right now. I love this brand. Let me go post this today. And so I lean into a lot of that as well.
Yeah, and just one thing that I'll note here when it comes to relationships with brands is, I think in the TikTok shop space, it's a little bit different as a shop creator, but Michelle and I both did a lot of content for free. We did a lot of tagging of brands. We bought products on our own. We made videos that we were not being paid for in the beginning. And while I do think that everybody should be paid for the work that they're doing for a brand, just know that that stuff goes a long way when it comes to the brands. We have relationships with a lot of brands now. I feel very lucky to know a lot of founders. And one of the things that is brought up in conversations often is, like, if someone reaches out to get PR from a brand and they've never posted the product. Never posted it, never tagged it. And there's ways, which I recently found out, for brands to see exactly how many times you've tagged them, how many times you've hashtagged them, all of those things. So just know that, like, to get really started in this space, if you want to create those relationships with brands, use it organically as well, on Instagram, anywhere.
Be a fan of the brand. I always say that brands love it when you love their products. Like, that's number one.
Yeah, and I think so. The next one is learning from other creators. So leveling up your content and thinking outside the box. Whenever anybody asks me about TikTok Shop and about making successful videos, I always say you have to say something different than the last person. So Michelle mentioned there's sometimes sponsored videos that come up on your page, and you're like, oh my gosh, I love that product too. You can't go make the same video as Michelle did, because then you're not doing anything different. Like, everyone's learning the same thing. So what is it about that product that is different to you? When I was talking about the beach waiver, one of the things I mentioned was that my mom struggles with arthritis in her hand. She doesn't curl her hair anymore starting at like age 45 because her arthritis in her hand is really painful. So the beach waiver was a great tool and a great gift for people like that in your life. And so it's something different that not everybody is already saying is truly one of the key things that I do when I'm making content. I think that lighting and high quality content. Okay, literally just get a light. Just get a selfie light. Like, you could get one for $5. Yeah, you have to have a. What'd you say?
Or 5 lights.
Or
get a lot.
Or 5. Listen, but I think that when you're starting, people are like, hey, like, I don't want to go buy a bunch of lighting. You don't need a full production of all these lights and blah blah blah. Just get a light, or stand in front of a window. Just something. I think that so many times we see videos that are just so dark. You can't see the product. You can't see the application. You can't see what you're wanting to talk about. So get a light. Quality over quantity always. This one's controversial because TikTok really likes quantity. They want you to push out those videos. That's what they want to see. And while we have to take the things that TikTok say into account because they are the queen, quality is going, in our opinion, is going to get you further, right? So another thing that we talk about a lot when we meet with brands is that they're looking for really high quality content. There was a situation where a brand launched a new product, a girl made a video, it popped off, went viral, sold a ton, the whole thing. And the brand was like, we got 50% returns because she was using it wrong. So the video that she made on it was a viral video, but it wasn't good quality. So when you're thinking about that, like, if you're trying to make a video go viral, make sure you're using it in the right way, first of all, but virality is a lot different than like quality content. So if you make a quality piece of content that maybe isn't getting as many views, but the brand sees it and they're like, hey, we like that video, then that's going to take you a lot further than trying to make a viral video by doing something crazy. So quality is important. And then what do you influence to buy? So Michelle and I both talk about this a lot. We don't really select free samples. Free samples are not like, we are very blessed to be able to just purchase products that we like. But anything that you're influenced, if you're scrolling on your For You page and you're like, that looks really cool, I actually want to try that. That's something that you're influenced by. So how are you going to turn around and turn that into a video?
You can still use that as an opportunity to request a sample. Just be like, oh, I'm genuinely interested in this product. It looks really good. That's a product I like to buy it because then I can buy it and win-win. If I like it, then I can promote it and it's a tax write-off. But, if obviously you can't buy it, request the sample and just pay attention to what you're genuinely influenced to buy, because chances are if you love it the way that you think you might, when you share it, other people will resonate with it too. Yeah. Okay, so our personal strategy, like we've talked about this before, but products we love, plus strategy. So it's not just, I might have a product I ride for, I use it every single day, but I can't get it to sell on TikTok. And that's okay. It's probably because the brand doesn't do ad spend. Probably they don't have a partnership with TikTok. Probably they don't boost videos, or they don't really care about TikTok Shop. And so it's nice to post those videos. Actually, there was a video I did for a brand last year. It was a product I love, I use all the time. I posted it. No one saw it. It's okay. I was like, I love this blush, and it's one of my favorites. I've talked about it for years. And then like 6 months later, that brand started doing GMV Max and ad spend, and then they've been pushing that video now every single month, and it's a year-old video now. So, so keep in mind, sometimes those do later get the attention, and then the brands reached out to pay me to use it on other platforms. So sometimes it does work out when you do that. But yeah, so a little bit of strategy in there. So when I'm approaching a sale like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, I'm really thinking about, obviously I want to post videos for people to see. Nobody wants to post videos for no views. So I'm thinking about who's doing the ad spend. Is there, talking to the brands, like, is there a hero product for this Black Friday that you guys really want to sell? I always ask brands that, like, when I'm talking to them, they go, what can I do for you? What product do you want to do well? Like, what are you hoping for? Because that's what I want to hit for you. Especially with brands that I absolutely love all their products. So that, and then obviously ad spend, GMV Max. I'd love it if brands would tell us, like, we're putting this much money in this product. We don't always hear that. So it's really just scrolling. What do you see, being pushed? Hit those products. Good sales, new deals. Everybody loves a bundle. Everybody loves a new launch. Like, all of those things. If you have a brand that you work with a lot, they're launching a new product, ask them if you can get it before it launches. Having it in hand before they launch it odds are they want it to do well, odds are they're going to put money behind it, etc. So that's part of that strategy as well.
And each other. I think that your community and your people that you like that are, we have little group chats, and Michelle and I are talking and crashing out every single day. And so we share, a lot of products with each other. And I think, finding a community in this space is so important too. And I think we talk about that a little bit.
It's the last one on there. Okay, yeah. Consistent brands. Yeah. Just the brands that you consistently use, love, work with, do all those things. Yeah.
And I think that also helps to build trust with an audience. If you're using the same products, if you're using the same brand, your audience will know that you trust that will trust you when you talk about that product.
Yeah. And so this is kind of something that we put together that was like, I think the stars align when you can really hit all of these. Now listen, we can say this all day long. This doesn't mean we do that. We create viral videos even weekly. Like this is still very hard, and I will say luck does play a big part in this. Like sometimes we're just lucky. Right place, right time, right product, right algorithm dropping in at the right time.
I think it's important to admit that too, because I think that
so.
there's a lot of successful creators, and great, they're busting their butts and they're doing a great job. But ultimately, there is a little bit of luck involved. There just is.
Yeah, we all the time are like, that video's doing so well. My video's really good for that product. I'm sure we've all said that, right? Like, I see this video going viral for this product, but my video's really good. Why didn't mine get picked up? Like that, that's normal. It happens. So like authenticity value, you have to be real. And I think that it's really hard to show up and be comfortable on camera and feel really genuine. And I think that comes with time. You can't show up and make a video day one and have it and not have any experience in making content and expect you to come across super authentic. So authenticity is queen. It's number one. And I think sometimes that's the hook in itself. People are scrolling, and I think even just for regular content on TikTok, when I'm scrolling, I'm seeing someone being so real in that moment. I'm gonna stop and go, what are we talking about? Some guy talking about construction. I don't know, but he's just being so authentic that I wanna know what he's saying. So I think we've all become hyper sensitive to people selling them to hey guys, I need to tell you about this product. Like I'm scrolling, oh my gosh, we don't want to see that. So we want to see something really, really real. So keep that in mind. And sometimes it's just you love that product so much, that's going to shine through. And provide value, like Kelsey said, teach them something they didn't know, show them how to use the product in a way that they maybe didn't realize, explain it in a different way. And she's always been the queen of that, and I think it's amazing, and I've learned that from her. You want to touch on any of it?
Yeah. What did you say?
I did authenticity and value. So
okay, perfect. Yeah. So let me do high quality content actually. Because one thing I want to hit on this is that I hear from people sometimes like, oh well, I live in a really small house and my house is really dark and I feel like I can't create the quality I want. I want to tell you that until 8 months ago, I lived in a 1,400 square foot house. I have 3 kids, and when you saw my makeup videos last year, my daughter's crib was pushed to the side right next to me. Her changing table, I took off the changing pad and I put a pot of flowers on it, and I made it look like it was a beauty room, when the actual fact was it was like a less than a 200 square foot room that I was sharing with her, and that was until like 8 or 9 months ago. And so I'm like a firm believer that you can always make high quality content no matter your circumstance. Like I said, get a selfie light, set it up in your bathroom. For the first year and a half I was filming, it was all in my bathroom because it was the only place I could escape from my kids when they were sleeping, and then I wouldn't wake them up at midnight when I was filming videos. So I think when it comes to high quality content, no excuses. Get a $5.99 selfie light, put it on your phone, find a corner of your house, put a plant behind you, and call it a day. Like, you can do it. So try not to use that as an excuse.
And make sure, pay attention to what's going on behind you in your videos. Like, sometimes I see a video and I'm like, oh my God, what's going on in the room? Like, there's try to find, when I'm filming in my room, I have so much behind me and it looks like a bomb exploded into my room. So I'm angling my camera sometimes, and sometimes I'm filming and I'm watching back the video. I'm like, oh crap, I bent down and you can see all these boxes and, so try to be strategic about that too. And there was one other thing I was and what's funny about Kelsey's situation is that there were so many times her daughter would be napping in her crib and would grab a lipstick or a mascara, and then it would just be all over the walls in the crib, and she'd send me a photo, and it's like, but that's the reality of what she was living.
I would walk in to check on her at 11 p.m. and there'd just be a foundation all over the place, and I'm like, no, because my vanity just sat right next to her crib, and sometimes I would forget. Anyways, yeah, that was my life.
So product, does the product look good? Okay, this is one of my pet peeves. If I'm watching a video and you're say you're promoting a lip gloss and I see someone just take it, dab, look at how pretty it is. I'm like, I can't see it. You barely put it on your lips. So make the product look good. If the product doesn't look good, if we can't see the product, you're not showing the product in its best light, then people aren't gonna wanna buy it. So make it, if it's a kitchen tool, show us the best way to use it and how creative it is. Actually, don't just hold up a box with the product in it and say, this is so good. I love this, it's amazing. You guys should buy it. I've seen so many videos like that, and then I see people go, why aren't my videos going anywhere? And I go watch their page and I go, take it out of the box. Show us, tell us, maybe use it for a day before you make a video. Like, tell us why you like it. So I think that's super important.
Yeah, or how a product works in different ways. If you're gonna tap a lip gloss on your lips, do it that way and be like, but also you can build it up and look at what it looks like now. And there's a lot of different ways that you can kind of play with that.
Yeah, like if you're somebody who only puts like the tiniest dot of lip gloss on, for the video, put on more. Like, let's see the whole thing. Let's just
Lip gloss isn't
put some
great.
layers on. People are like, you put so many layers of that mirror, could you just see the bottom? I'm like, yeah. Also, I love it like that, and I want people to see it, like, on camera.
Also, you'll get 5 comments that say that and like 500 that are great. So
Yeah,
it's like,
there you go, there you go. Do you want to touch on the urgency?
so urgency, like, so limited sales, new drops, like, I think that a lot of our really successful videos have come from like new drops and sales. And I think that there's a way to talk about sales in a really authentic way. You know, I did not shop at Sephora when I was young. I don't think I stepped foot in Sephora until I was like 25. Like, that's not somewhere that I shop. So for me, sales and things are really exciting because I am like thinking about like younger Kelsey and thinking like, oh my gosh, like someone can get 4 Tarte mascaras that would normally cost them $100 for $49 right now. Like, I authentically am like so excited about that. Like we said, we grew up with Marshall's moms, always shop in the bargain, shop in the deals. It's just in my like DNA. Like, I get really excited about it. And so I think also capitalize on those things, right? And try to, and I know TikTok doesn't really like us to talk about pricing as much anymore, but do the best you can to convey that the pricing is good in an authentic way that's not so much like in your face. And let me say, there is a time and place for the in your face videos. Like, those will have a time and place too, but every video can't be that, right?
When you can get all 4 of these in one video, I swear that's where magic can happen. Can. Not always, you know, not even 50% of the time, but it can. And so hitting all of those 4, and that's what if you notice in a lot of our videos, we tend to hit that. Like, I might start with, oh my God, this is an insane deal. And then I talk about really authentically why I love the product. I show it really well. I try to make sure my content is high quality. And then I end with, and this sale's limited and it's crazy and I've never seen anything like it. It's like 50% off. You know, and so that kind of wraps it all up in one. And I feel like that generally does okay. Sometimes. All the time.
Okay, cool. So we're going to talk about product selection. So this is me in Times Square. This is a very exciting moment in my life. But I want Thank you. But I want to tell you guys a little story here because everything that led up to this moment felt like my life was in fast forward. And so in 2021, my husband and I bought a house. It was our house. It was his mom's house. We bought it from her, and it was like this huge accomplishment. My parents never owned a house, so I was the first one in my family to buy a home, and it was really exciting for me. And I remember looking at our mortgage payment and saying, I will never not be able to make the amount of money that I'm making right now. I will never be able to stop doing this. I will never stay home with my kids. I have to work my 9 to 5. And in 2022, my husband's a firefighter, by the way, so if you guys didn't know that. So he's gone a lot. So in 2022, I got to the point, no, 2023. Or in early 2023, I got to the point where I was like, I am failing. I am not being a great mom. I'm working my butt off all day at this 9 to 5. You're gone for 3 days. I'm doing mornings, I'm doing nights, I'm doing bath time, bedtime, and I'm failing everywhere. Like, I would come home from working and I'd be like, just a nightmare with my kids because I was like, I'm already tapped out. And so we had this conversation. We were like, hey, I need to go part-time. Like, you're gone too much and it's not fair to them. And we were literally sitting there like, listen, we can not do that much internet gigabytes. We can cut off the cable. We don't even really use, we can stop, and we're sitting there planning out how we're going to make this all come together. My husband's like, I'll pick up 4 more shifts a month. Like, then I'll be gone 18 days a month, but hey, we'll be able to survive. So we had this conversation, and in June of 2023, I posted my first TikTok shop video. It was one of my first. It was a 9-second Sol de Janeiro video. Spritz it all over me before I headed out to a birthday party. And that was my first video to go viral. And I was like, oh shoot, this is kind of cool. It's awesome. And so, and after a little bit more of that, I was really scared to quit my job because you're really scared to quit the security. But in July, I was like, you know what, I'm going to go part-time. We're gonna kind of see how this works, and then that's kind of when everything took off. And then I was able to quit my job fully in 2023. And during that time was when I picked up the beach waiver. And so, as far as like product selection goes, this is one.
Didn't you buy that first? By the way, you bought it. Yeah.
So I bought the rose and black beach waiver, rose gold or whatever, and black beach waiver, and I filmed it like. I don't even know how long the video was. I was running out the door to take my daughter to soccer practice. We had to leave at like 4:15. It was like 4:07, and I'm like, I'm doing this right now. And I made this super quick video of me first trying the beach waiver, went to practice, posted the video, and that one went viral. And then it was just kind of like a snowball after that. Like, I also capitalizing on like what I have. I love my hair. I love to curl my hair. I have long hair. I can demonstrate that product really, really well. That's a good product pick for someone like me. And so after posting the beach waiver, the next year they invited me to New York and they put me on a billboard and they asked me if I wanted to design my own beach waiver. And so now, so now in 2026, the Kelsey X beach waiver will be coming out. So, I know, really, really excited. So, but you definitely have to be a fan of the product. If you're a fan of the product, it's easy to be authentic. The pre-film checklist, so this is something that I'm like kind of a stickler on now. Inventory, reviews, and price. So if a product does not have a lot of inventory, if it has like 80 things in stock, I'm like, eh. I'm like, why am I going to post that? It's going to sell
so
it.
good at that. All the time, I'm like, oh my god, I made this great video. She said, Michelle, there's 7 in stock. I'm like, oh. And I was like, oh, my video is going viral. And I was like, I have never. So she's talking about it.
I mean, I'm very type B, but one thing that I do not give up for free is my time because I don't have a lot of it. So if I'm going to take the time to make a video that I want to make money from, there better be like 1,000 in stock. I mean, 1,000 is a little bit of a stretch, but there needs to be enough stock for me to make a video about it. Reviews are really important. Because number one, if you post a product that has bad reviews, it can affect your score. There, you know, people can come back to your video and like just yell at you, which is something we've all kind of been through, I'm sure. So that's really important. And then price. You mentioned price. What do we say for price here?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when in the beginning of TikTok Shop, we felt like $30 was like a sweet spot for product price, but there is no really sweet spot. Like, if you're selling a $300 product, you can't expect that to sell thousands of. I mean, hey, maybe you can, but like it's harder to sell something that's more expensive. So, you know, finding something that like the other day I was telling her I bought these sunglasses. They were like a designer dupe, and someone was selling them, and they looked so good on her, and they were $3, and I was like, well, I'm gonna buy them because they were $3, and they looked so good. So just, you know, sometimes price plays a role. So make sure it's a good price. Like obviously if you're trying to sell a really good product that you hit all the boxes, but maybe it's like really expensive, it might, you know, your expectations have to be lower on how much you're probably going to sell.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we've kind of already touched on this, but new brands, new launches, GMV max, those are all things that play into our strategy, along with, you know, everything else we've just said, which is authenticity, stuff that we're already using.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, when we pick products, we're thinking about, is it a brand that does the ads? Like, if you just love this product so much, like I said, I would still post it because you never know when that brand's going to be like, hey, we actually love that video. We're going to pay you to post it on Facebook or other platforms or something like that. So definitely think about that. Relationships are everything. We talked about this. You know, relationships with brands we found is so huge, and it's really opened up so many doors for us. This is us with Sarah from the Beach Waiver on the right, and then
Sarah came to my house, you guys. She came to my house.
She came to her house. Yeah,
like that's how important relationships are.
Yeah. And then Kelsey was part of the LYS Foundation Stick campaign last summer, which was amazing because they saw her on TikTok. They loved her content. They added her in their campaign.
You go to Sephora, you can look for my picture.
Yeah, I always look for her every time I go. And then us with Maureen, the founder of Tarte. That was such a life-changing relationship that we made. We
really in that moment. You always tell the story.
Okay, I'll tell the story really, really quick. So Tarte launched on TikTok Shop. I love Tarte. I was like, oh, yay, I'm excited. Both of us had a ton of success selling it when they first launched. That really was why we had such high months that month. And they sent me a DM, both of us, saying, hey, we're launching a new product tomorrow. Just wanted to let you be the first to know. And I said, oh my gosh, I'm in LA. Like, can I pick it up? And they wrote back and said, oh my gosh, we're actually having an event. You should come. I said, oh my, Kelsey. Because we used to joke, like, I want to go to we had a dream of like just being invited to an event. Like that was like a dream. We were like, how do people get invited to events? Like this is so cool. Just want to go to one event. And we were like a Tarte. We used to joke all the time before this. We're gonna go triple Tarte one day. Oh yeah, next week we're gonna triple Tarte. Next month, next year they're gonna have us on the trip. They did the big Dubai trip, and we were like, next time we're there. Of course.
Kind of joking ourselves, but still kind of manifested.
And then, so we go to this event, not thinking Maureen's going to be there, the founder of Tarte, and we're just like so excited. We had this high of adrenaline, just like, oh my God, what's happening? And walking around and just so excited. And Maureen comes out, and we were like, oh, maybe she'll say hi to us. And she once beelines to us and was like, you guys are killing it. Oh my God, like the success I think they had on TikTok Shop was also a big change for their brand and what was huge for them. And she spent like 40 minutes just talking to us about TikTok Shop. And I was like, there's all these like huge influencers here, and she knows who we are. Like this is so weird. And then I go, yeah, Kelsey all the time, and I are like, we're gonna go triple Tarte someday. And then I stared at her and I was like, oh my God.
When Michelle said that, I was like, oh my God, too soon.
And
oh my God, too soon.
Replayed that moment in my head for like 2 months. I'd be trying to fall asleep, and I'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe I said that to her. But like 2 months later, I woke up that morning and they were actually having another event, and I wasn't invited. Tarte was having an event. You got an invite, and I texted this girl from Tarte that I had her number. I said, hey, I'm so sorry to bug you, but like, could I maybe go to the event that Kelsey's invited to next week? And she goes, Michelle, of course, and you were supposed to be invited, and also, did you get my email? And I was like, you sent me an email? And so it's 7 a.m. and I because I was all bummed for like 3 days. I was like, they like you more than me. They invited you to this event. And I had an email and it was like, Michelle and Kelsey, will you go trip with Matart Bora Bora? And I was like, oh my God. I called her. We were like call friends. We were text friends. So I was like, ring, 7:30 in the morning and she's driving her kids to school. And I'm like, Kelsey, we're going to go tripping with Tart. And she was like, no.
I said a lot of profanities.
Yeah. And then she was like, no, I'm like, check your email. And right before this, I was like basically crying to her about how they didn't invite me to this.
Michelle was crying when she called me about the trip too. She's like crying and I'm like, hey, what's up? You're calling me at 7 in the morning, you're crying. And she's like, we're going tripping with Tart. They invited us. And I was like, what? Like, no. I literally said, shut up.
It was wild. So anyways, but it just goes to show you that it's funny because Maureen said to me after that, she's like, you're such a hustler. And I'm like, wait, I'm offended. I'm a hustler. I'm not. But I think in a way that's like, when I'm in a room, I'm introducing people, I'm like, oh, you're doing this, can I come? Like, it's sometimes asking. Sometimes you don't ask, you don't get. I have people all the time that are like, oh, they didn't do this. Ask them, but really foster those relationships because you never know where it's going to
And
be.
everything is always so much better together. So whenever Michelle's invited to something, whenever I'm invited to something, obviously we have our own things, but for the most part, if it's like an event, we're like, oh, well, I'm bringing Michelle, like that's it.
Yeah.
And I think that people think that they should be so closed off and they're like, oh no, I should just go to this event by myself. You'll go so much further together, and that's why I think the relationships are so big. These are just like iconic.
Having a friend in
these
this
are
space.
iconic women, you guys. This is Tisha from LYS. She's the founder of LYS. This is Sarah Patempa from Beach Waver, and Maureen Kelly. Like those are like insane.
That was actually that moment where I told her that. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm embarrassed.
Yeah.
But, having a friend in this space, we talked about, like, having someone to share things with, to screenshot. Okay, 3 minutes, we're almost done. So just creator to creator advice, really, really quick. Just like our hot topic, like these are things I think people always ask us. So like posting quantity, like how much do you post a day, would you say?
Yeah, I post 3 videos on my second account minimum, and I post 3 to 4 videos on my main, but only of those, maybe 1 is shoppable. The rest are all just organic.
So we have 2 accounts, both of us. I have my main account, which is my creator account, where I do post shop on there, and that's how I started doing shop, but I wasn't willing to post that much shop on my main account. And when TikTok, the climate started changing, you could tell they want you to post 10 times a day. So yeah, I started posting on a second account, just shop. So we each have a shop account and a main account, probably post 0 to 2 times shoppable videos on our main account. But anyway, so hooks. We're not a big fans of verbal hooks. I think organic hooks are so much better. So when you think about a hook, think about, visual, like make your video, be silly, be weird. Take that funny, best part of your video, put it in the front. If maybe wear a really cool shirt, really striking, really interesting, people might stop scrolling because of that. Maybe do your makeup really fun, like put some bright eyeshadow on. People may stop scrolling for that. So just take an interesting part and put it in the front. Use it as your hook. Unless you're really good at verbal hooks, it's gonna come across fake. Like, someone's getting fired today. Like we're like, okay, we've all done it, but like we've heard it a million times. Everyone's scrolling. So that's kind of my advice. And call to actions. Do you do call to actions? Like click the link right here, right now, buy it right now. We don't do that.
No,
you don't need to do that.
I don't think there's anything wrong with saying like, I'll link it. But like, I don't think that anybody needs to know where the link is anymore. Like, I think we don't.
And both of us, we share ad codes. So just FYI, like if both of us, I've been burned. I've had, brands change my link. So it's okay to share an ad code, but that's a personal decision. But it's helped me more than it's hurt me. And when a brand changes my link and does something funny with my ad code, I just don't work with them again. I don't post their products anymore. Okay, you might want to screenshot these reminders up on the screen, but just some reminders, closing thoughts. One, follow us, that'd be amazing. We have a podcast, follow a podcast. But, I think that one of the biggest things I want to say is give yourself grace. It's a race. I mean, it's not a race. It's a race. You're not always going to win. That's okay. Luck does play a big part. And I think love the process. If you don't love making content, if you don't love the process, you will quit.
Yeah.
Guaranteed you will get burnt out and quit.
And along with like, it's a journey, not a race. Like, try not to compare yourself to anybody else. Like, yeah, there are people that are really successful at this, but like, I'm the same as you. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, we're all kind of in this together. And just because one person's had success over another person doesn't necessarily mean they're any better. It just means you haven't had your moment yet. So keep going.
And your worst day might be someone's dream day. So keep that in mind too. So stay in touch. You guys, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Kelsey and Michelle, that was such an amazing session. Thank you so much for sharing everything that everyone needs to prepare for holiday. It was so insightful. Thank you so much. Yay.